Hello and welcome to today's training called Amazon Bestseller Secrets, 5 Keys to an Amazon Best-Selling Book. I so appreciate you taking the time to be here with me today. And before we dive into the content, I want to take just a minute to introduce myself to those of you who may be hearing me for the first time and wondering who on earth this Tammy Metzler person is, and maybe how I came to be sharing today's topic with you. So a little bit about me. I've been reading and writing for as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, I was just as happy typing out short stories and curling up with a good book as I was playing with my sisters or my friends. I've always loved words. I've always loved books. I've always loved reading. And the thought of growing up to actually write my own books and earn a living that way just seems so far out of reach that honestly, I didn't even think about it. And so when I did grow up, when I finished my English degree and went off to the quote unquote real world, I still didn't think writing books was a feasible option. It just seemed too like off in la la land, right? So I was like, okay, what can I do? So I became a copywriter. I thought, all right, I'll earn my living with words that way. It seemed like a pretty fair compromise. And then when the idea for me to write a book about what I had learned through copywriting came about, it was a pretty thrilling thought. I mean, me, a published author, I was like, talk about dreams come true for this little bookworm, right? It seemed almost too good to be true. So I was really scared to even get started, and I was completely clueless, and overwhelmed. I didn't know where to even start. So I let the idea simmer and slowly die out until one day I was catching up with a friend that I hadn't spoken with in quite a while, and she asked me how my book was coming along. I had completely forgotten that I had talked to her about it when the idea first sprouted and when I was brimming with excitement and enthusiasm. Pardon me. And I realized in that moment that a full year had gone by and I hadn't written a single word. And I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I decided to stop putting my dreams on hold, to stop letting fear hold me back, and just to write the darn thing. So I did. I devoted all my time to writing my book, and I got it done in under 30 days. And I was so proud to hold that book in my hands, to show a copy to my parents, my friends, my prospective clients. But beyond that, my little book never really gained much steam. Now, of course, that was my fault because I spent about 0 time promoting it. And because of that, it only sold maybe a dozen copies in the span of several years. But still, I think I still didn't really know what I was doing. I still didn't really know how to promote it. So I just kind of abandoned that dream for a little while longer. I had other things on my plate. I had a few kids. I focused on my copywriting business, just kind of the day-to-day stuff. And in the back of my mind, though, I was still thinking about books and about being an author. And in that time, I'd also gotten my first Kindle, my first Amazon Kindle. And I was slowly transitioning from a love of paper books, which I still have, mind you. I can't get enough of going to libraries and bookstores and just kind of smelling that. My husband thinks I'm kind of silly because I talk about how I love the smell of all those books, and he doesn't quite get it, but that's okay. So I still love that, but more and more, I'm enjoying the convenience of ordering a Kindle book and reading it seconds later, right? No more waiting for the hard copy to come in the mail or making a special trip to the bookstore or library. I could see a book I wanted and have it in my hot little hands just seconds later. So it's been pretty cool. And I'm not the only one either. There's millions of people who read Kindle books, especially now that you don't have to actually own a Kindle to read one. I don't know if you knew that, but there's a free Kindle app that is available pretty much on any smartphone, computer, tablet that you can use to read Kindle books. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, back to my story. So this past summer, I've been hearing more and more about authors finding success on Kindle. So color me intrigued. I thought, what the heck? What have I got to lose? So my first book, Profitable Newsletters, had been published back in 2000. And I figured a lot had probably changed in the self-publishing world since then. Been a couple years. So I dove into learning more about Kindle and the latest and greatest in self-publishing. And I also went through my Profitable Newsletters book and revised it from beginning to end. I was going to just kind of tweak it a little bit, but a lot of changed in email marketing too. So I pretty much just rewrote the whole thing. And then I published it as a Kindle book. And at first, again, nothing much happened, right? Sparks didn't fly. I didn't become an overnight success. I think I sold 2 copies in the first month after I published it. What to do, right? But I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to give up this time so easily. I'm going to keep giving this a try. And I had another book in mind called How to Write Persuasive Emails. So I went ahead and I wrote that and I published that one as well. Still not a whole lot. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to put some work in to actually launch these things, to actually let people know that they're available. I was kind of afraid at first. I shouldn't say that. I was very afraid at first of what people would say and, you know, what people would think of these babies, quote unquote, that I'd worked so hard on, my books. But finally, I knew that I had to get over my fear and just rip the Band-Aid off. So I did. I followed a 3-step launch plan that I'm going to share with you in a little bit. And I had some pretty good results. For my my Persuasive Emails book, I had over 400 sales in the 5-day launch period, which brought the book to #1 best-selling status. You can see the little orange badge there, which I was beyond thrilled with. I mean, that was a really cool day for me. And so that one was for Persuasive Emails, which I had officially launched first, even though it was my second book. So I got that one out there first. And even though I hadn't launched Profitable Newsletters yet, people started to find and buy it too, to the point where at one point I had my 2 books here were in the #1 and 3 spots in this one category. So that was really pretty cool for me too. And then when I officially launched Profitable Newsletters about a month later, it already had a little bit of momentum and it was selling a few copies every day organically, just by people kind of stumbling across it. And then I launched it and I spiked, close to 80 sales in just one day. And then, more than that over the 5-day period, which was really kind of the turning point for both of the books and what helped Amazon really pick up the promotion for me. They could see the book was selling steadily and they started to promote it. And I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that later too, kind of how that works. So, they started to put the word out for me to the point where the book started to sell about 15 to 20 copies per day without me really doing anything past the launch period, and bringing in, about $350, $400 in monthly recurring revenues just from royalties and from me not really doing much of anything. Now, I know this isn't going to make anyone an overnight millionaire, but it's still pretty cool to have Amazon sending you the equivalent of, a car payment each month. And that doesn't even include the people who have clicked the links from within my books to visit my website, to join my list, to buy my higher ticket programs, invest in my one-on-one service packages, all of that kind of stuff. So the possibilities really are endless. And that's really what we're going to touch on today. And we're going to talk about the 5 can't miss keys to writing and publishing a #1 Amazon bestselling book, my simple 3-step launch plan that has led to hundreds in recurring residual income each month, along with a steady stream of new mailing list subscribers and clients, and how to get Amazon to do all of your book promotions for you without you paying them a dime in, advertising fees or whatever, or even lifting a finger to help, unless, of course, you want to and really skyrocket your results even further. Okay, so that's what we're going to be discussing today. But first, I want to be sure that everyone listening gets the impact that a best-selling book can have on your business. So many of the entrepreneurs that I speak with have tremendous value to offer their clients, but they just don't fully recognize all that they have to offer. And the thing is, if you can't recognize all that you have to offer, prospective clients probably aren't going to see it either. Now, I know without a shadow of a doubt that every one of you listening to this webinar today has information within yourself that would be beneficial, probably even life changing to those people that you are meant to serve. Maybe you're an administrative assistant turned virtual assistant who worked in corporate America for 10 years and can easily throw together an Excel spreadsheet that can save your clients 5 hours of time each month that they'd otherwise spend searching for contact information or whatever. Or maybe you're a relationship coach, like one of my clients who wasted years of her life seeking out love before finally finding her soulmate. And once she honed in on the dating process, she realized all of the mistakes she had made and what she did right, and was able to turn that information into a lucrative business, helping other singles find their ideal partner. Now, whatever your background, you do have a combination of knowledge and experiences that could save someone else oodles of time, our most precious asset, or maybe lots of money, or even frustration, heartache, and overwhelm. You have the power to make someone else's life better just from the information that you already have inside that noggin of yours. There's this quote that I love, and I can't remember who originally said it, so forgive me for that, but it was so impactful on me that I wanted to share it with you. Basically, it said that if you aren't sharing your knowledge with others, someone who desperately needs your help is suffering. So when I first heard that, it really choked me up, because I started thinking about the people that I'm meant to help, who are really great at what they do, but just don't know how to communicate their solutions in a way that truly resonates with their ideal clients. And because of that, they don't have enough clients. So not only are they not out there helping the people they're meant to serve, but they're suffering themselves because they don't have enough money to pay the bills. Or they're working nonstop and barely seeing their kids and families. Or maybe they're frustrated and overwhelmed and ready to throw in the towel. And the people they should be serving are suffering too. So it's an ongoing cycle, and one that goes above and beyond just me or just you. What we do or don't do affects those around us as well. So by not offering our knowledge and expertise, we're doing our potential clients a disservice. I know that's a little bit backwards from the commonly held beliefs that selling is evil and we shouldn't be out there promoting ourselves. But I think we need to flip our thinking. We need to be approaching the marketing process not as self-serving, because that can feel icky and inauthentic. But it's time to start thinking of marketing as a venue to connect you with people who desperately need your help, in the form of offering the combined knowledge and expertise that you already have within you. So my friend that I mentioned earlier, whether she meant to or not, was a springboard that pushed me forward into finally achieving my dream of writing a book. And I hope to be that gentle nudge for you today. Through this training, I want to give you a plan of action so that you can say, I can do this. To help put some of the uncertainties to rest and put you on the path to writing your book. And over the next about 60 minutes or so, I'll share as much information as I can to help you get started. And then I promise to tell you how you can dive even deeper, to learn every little detail about writing, publishing, and promoting an Amazon bestseller, and also get my support in putting each of these steps, into place if you're looking for more of that guidance. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So as the webinar title states, there are 5 keys to writing a best-selling book, and so we're going to go ahead and start making our way through them now. The first key is to pick an in-demand topic, because obviously if you're not writing about something people want to learn about, they're not going to buy your book, right? It's pretty simple, but it's a step many authors miss. So let's talk a little bit about how to pick a hot topic. So the most important thing to remember here is to focus on your customers. Okay, so here's a simple exercise to help you get the wheels turning. You want to ask yourself, what is the biggest challenge, concern, or goal that people bring to me? So if you're a chiropractor and most people come to you for help curing migraines, you might think about a book that offers natural cures for migraines. Of which, of course, you'll list chiropractic treatments and ultimately offer your services. Or maybe there isn't one major symptom that people bring to you, so you decide to write a book on chiropractic care in general and call it, the drug-free miracle cure or something like that, and have a chapter on each of the top 7 to 10 ailments that chiropractic treatments can help with. And if you're not sure or you're new to business, perhaps, here's a quick research exercise that you can do to check out the market and dive deep into what your customers actually want. Okay. So the first step is to visit Amazon.com. And then you're going to click Shop by Department, as you see circled in red off to the left there. You'll click Books, and then click Bestsellers there at the top. And then start clicking, then you want to click your industry here, choose your category of where your books would fall, what kind of topic you're going to be writing on, what niche, I should say. And then you can go through and start looking at these top selling books and start getting an idea of what's out there and what's selling really well. So this right here, these are the books that are selling, that people are actually buying. So you can look through and see, okay, what topics are people most wanting to buy? What topics are in demand? Excuse me. And then you can kind of see if there are any holes within these topics that you could fill, if there's any missing information that you could provide. Because, for each of these books, even if there's a book that's on the topic of, let's say, time management or whatever the case is, just because there's a book on the topic doesn't mean that they have your particular process, the way that you think about things, and the way that you lay things out. So don't get discouraged if you're seeing books on your particular, main topic, because that's actually a good thing. That means that people actually want to learn about that. And they're not likely to just stop with just one book on the topic. They're probably going to buy several, okay? So just do a little bit of research, look around Amazon, see what's selling and see what's missing and how you can go ahead and fill that gap. Okay, so let's move on to the second key, which is to write an eye-grabbing title. So once you have a hot topic, you want to make sure that your title is really grabbing people's attention. So we all know that folks browsing the internet, myself included, have very limited attention spans. So meaning you need a title that is catchy, to the point, and compelling enough to stop potential readers from skipping right past your book. Okay, so there are 2 things to keep in mind when picking a hot title. Number 1, you want to focus on the transformation. So think about the end result that potential clients can expect after purchasing your book. Are they going to walk away with 5 ideas to create a stronger plot for their novel? Will they be able to identify their dream job? As in the case of this webinar, are they going to get 5 keys to an Amazon best-selling book? So you want to make sure you kind of hone in on what they can expect to walk away with, the transformation. The second key here is to get specific. You want to laser in on your topic to make sure it's as specific as possible. So for example, instead of just saying, avoid these website mistakes, you might have a title that says 5 website mistakes that cost most businesses thousands in lost profits each year. Okay, or instead of saying how to lose weight, you might say 7 ways to lose 5 pounds next week. Okay, cut the vague and give your title some teeth. And the third thing I want to mention just briefly here is that you can also gain inspiration from best-selling titles using the research process that I laid out previously to kind of see what other authors are using. Obviously you're not going to use the same title. You're not going to plagiarize, but just to get some inspiration to see what's working and what's capturing people's attention. Now, I do have some resources to help ease this title writing path, including 11 fill-in-the-blank title formulas that you can pull from anytime you're at a loss, and I'll share in a few minutes how you can access those if you're interested. The third key is to turn your main points into juicy chapter titles. Now, one of the key features in books published on Amazon is the ability to look inside or try a sample of books before you buy. So this here that you're looking at on this screen is an example of the look inside feature. And so this is for my How to Write Persuasive Emails book. And I just took a little screenshot of it, and it shows you here that you get to look inside and you can actually see the table of contents. You can see these different chapter titles. And if you structure yours in a way, as I've structured mine, where each of the chapter titles, it's not just chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, you're actually putting a benefit-rich title for each of these chapters. So potential readers can see at a glance what they can get from each chapter in the book, and that's going to get them interested in, not only buying the book, but actually reading it. Because if they see, in chapter 7, they're going to find out how to get results from their emails, then they're going to want to be able to access that information. Okay. So it's almost like turning your table of contents into a mini sales page that's highlighting the main benefits of your book. Your chapter titles can really go a long way toward either boring readers to death or piquing their interest into buying and reading the book. Okay. So the key is to position each chapter in benefit format so readers can immediately see what's in it for them. So here's how you do that. For each chapter, you're going to ask yourself, what is one big benefit that can come from implementing this step? Okay. So for example, taken from a program that I had created a while back. So the first main point was that people can gain clarity that makes it easy to reach their revenue goals. So that turned into a chapter title of Plan for Profits. Okay. Short, sweet, to the point, but very clear and compelling. Okay. And you can also make use of subheadings within each chapter to really pique folks' interest. So here's an example from also from the How to Write Persuasive Emails book. You'll see here, this is also a little snapshot from the look inside feature of the table of contents. So you'll see that chapter 3, the actual title is Choose the Right Positioning to Get Your Email Noticed. But then there's these subheadings, stand out above hundreds of other emails, 3 positioning types that get results, how to use the power of 1 for successful emails, and an outline to map out your emails. So these are all things that are going to get people interested. They're very specific. And people, when they see these, if they're interested in this topic, they're going to say, okay, I really want to know how to do each of these things. And it's just going to further pique their interest. Okay. And once you have great content to make your table of contents stand out and help capture interest, there's another tool you can make use of to grab readers' eye, and that is your synopsis or book description. And this is also going to lead us to the 4th key, okay? And that's to create a compelling synopsis. So even if you don't plan to distribute your books to traditional booksellers like Barnes & Noble, that sort of thing, your book synopsis will appear on websites like Amazon.com as a way to tell readers what's in the book. So you can see here the portion that's circled in red and has a little little arrow drawing or pointing to it. That is the book synopsis for my How to Write Persuasive Emails book. And you'll see it kind of shows up, and it shows just a few lines, and then you can click read more to read the full thing. So you really want to make this synopsis good. You want to pique their interest while also helping them to feel confident that this book is going to solve their challenges. Now, because you only see the first few lines when people first see the synopsis, you really want to start off strong, okay? Whether you kick your description off with a headline or a statement, you want to make it really good. You want something that catches readers' eyes and makes them want to keep reading, to actually click that read more button. Okay, so here's a couple of examples. From No BS Grassroots Marketing by Dan Kennedy is be a be a small business with big impact. Okay, that was the first line of his. Next example, if you're ready to dramatically increase your client base, this brand new edition of Get Clients Now is a one book you need. So that's from the book Get Clients Now. And then another example here, it starts off, want to write business marketing emails that stand out in readers' crowded inboxes enough to actually get opened. And that's from How to Write Persuasive Emails, from yours truly. Okay, so those are just a couple of examples. And another little research project for you is to take a peek at the descriptions on some Amazon books within your industry for some more ideas, but be sure to stick with those that are actually selling well with high Amazon rankings, so you can kind of get an idea of what other authors are doing. So the second step here is to create juicy bullet points that get folks interested. So after your introduction, you want a bullet list that is not only easy on the eyes for those many skimmers out there, but which focuses on the benefits of reading your book. The good news is that you can easily pull hot bullet points out of your main chapters. So the key is to position each bullet point in benefit format so readers can immediately see what's in it for them. Okay, so here's a couple of examples taken from one of my unpublished books called 5 Ways to Turn Website Visitors into Clients. The first point is to know what you want website visitors to do. And the main benefit is to gain the clarity that makes it easy for website visitors to say yes to your offers. So that would be the bullet point right there is the main benefit. You would just take out that part and that's the bullet point. Gain the clarity that makes it easy for website visitors to say yes to your offers. The second main point is to make them an offer they can't refuse. So the main benefit, which would be your bullet point, is to get website visitors off the fence and into action so that you're actually using your website to connect with interested prospects and paying clients. The third point is to show them why they should work with you. And so the benefit statement is to stand out from the crowd as a company who gets your target market and can help them overcome their challenges and reach their goals. Okay. So each of these are turned into bullet points for a solid book description that will captivate potential readers and get them excited to buy and read your book. And then that brings us to the fifth key to a best-selling book, and that is to launch your book like a boss, right? So this is where you host a killer book launch where you promote your book like crazy for a few days to rocket it to the top of the charts. And from there, Amazon is going to take over the promotions for you in places like here, their suggested reading lists. So you can see here, it has, there's a little, excuse me, there's a little section that says customers who bought this item also bought, and then there's a bunch of different suggested books. Their emails that they sent out to folks who bought similar books. So you can see the first highlighted section, that's actually the subject line. It actually has the title of my book, How to Write Profitable Newsletters. And then you open it up and it says, based on your recent visit, we thought you might be interested in these items. And there's actually a couple books here, but just so it was easier to see, I just put the first, the book, my book was at the top. And then there was a couple other options there. But that was just a standalone email sent to me based on some of my viewing habits. So they do these kind of things to try to get you to come back and buy more books and buy more items. But that can really work for you as an author because they're reaching out to people. Maybe they did click on your book and maybe they did show interest, but they didn't actually buy it. So Amazon's saying, hey, check this out. Come back and take another look. Okay, so they are promoting it for you to millions of readers. Okay. And so basically, once you complete your initial launch, if you do it well, and if Amazon is seeing that you're bringing in some, good sales, then Amazon will take over and bring in, deliver to you basically a steady stream of sales and royalties every little day with very little effort on your part. So it's not to say that you can't or shouldn't do work to promote your book moving forward, But even if you don't, you can experience ongoing sales. And I'm not even talking about holding yourself in the basement for 2 weeks during this launch period. There are actually a few simple steps that you can take to shoot your book up into the bestseller position and help to kick off these steady sales. Now, it does take some work, I'm not going to lie, but honestly, it's not as bad as you might be thinking. So let's go through and share this. Well, actually, in just a moment, I'm going to share the 3-step launch plan. But first, I want to show you kind of what's possible so you can really get a good sense of this. Now, when I launched my How to Write Persuasive Emails book back in September, following this 3-step plan, as you can see in the couple weeks leading up to the launch, there were 0 sales in the first couple of weeks after I'd already published the book, which I did before the official launch. And then during this launch period, this 5-day launch period, you can see here there was 450 sales within that launch period, using the plan I'm going to share with you. And then when I launched How to Write Profitable Newsletters a few weeks later, while the sales weren't quite as strong, so there was about 160 during the 5-day period, it helped to launch that steady flow of sales afterwards that you see there on the screen. Pardon me. So, 15 to 20 sales a day. And while it may not seem like much, it really can amount to some great passive income royalty payments, at least several hundred per month, and possibly even more depending on your price point and target market. And that's in addition to bringing new clients. So, it's almost like having a free report out there, but you're actually getting paid for your free report, and it's still bringing you leads and clients. So it's really a cool thing. And you're using the power of one of the strongest search engines out there to help you find clients. So it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and talk about the 3-step launch plan. So the first step is to get reviews. So reviews are critical to an author's success because they give a third-party endorsement of your book to help potential buyers feel like they're making a good investment if they buy it. I know when I'm looking at books to read, which is quite often, I will look at the book's title and subtitle first, and then read the description, and then look to see if there are any reviews, and usually read at least a handful. And that's even if the book is free or cheap, like 99 cents, because time, as I mentioned earlier, is our most precious asset. And I don't want to waste any of mine on a book that's not worth reading. So there's also a social proof aspect to it, as reviews are proving that other people are reading your book and enjoying it. So there's at least a subconscious effort on us as readers, wanting to read the most popular books available, wanting to be kind of part of that club, if you will. We don't want to feel left out. So anyway, getting reviews is the first step. And ideally, you want to aim to have at least a few reviews in place before you officially launch your book, so that when you get to the launch phase and you really get serious about promoting your book, people are going to see that there are already reviews in place. So to do this, you want to create a reviews team full of people who are interested in receiving a free copy of your book in exchange for an honest Amazon review. So these might be folks on your newsletter list if you have one, or they might be current clients or colleagues, or you might put out an invitation in social networking groups that are full of your ideal readers. Okay. So as a side note, you kind of want to keep in mind that you are not allowed to quote unquote bribe reviewers by offering them money or gifts in exchange for a review, other than of course a free copy of your book. But if you do otherwise, I know I've seen people in the past offer gift cards or offer different things like that. And Amazon's terms of service have changed recently. But if you do that kind of stuff now, you could get your book removed from Amazon and might even get your author account banned. Okay, so I just want to kind of throw that out there, just so you're completely aware of what you can and cannot do. So you can offer a free book in exchange for an honest review. You cannot offer people money or additional gifts to get their review. Okay, so just to put that out there. So that's step one, to build a reviews team and get as many reviews as you possibly can before your launch. And you want to start this step at least a month before you plan to launch your book to give reviewers time to review the book. And there are other things you can do to build your reviews team and increase your chances of getting reviews. But there's just a ton of detail to cover there and too much to get into now. So we'll talk about how you can learn more about that whole process in just a few minutes. So the second step of your launch plan is the actual launch, okay? And if you publish on, oh, I'm sorry, there's some, an example of some reviews from my How to Write Persuasive emails, just to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like. Okay, so the second step is the actual launch. So if you publish on KDP Select, which basically means that you give Amazon exclusive rights for 90 days at a time. So you can't publish your book anywhere else for at least 90 days. So there's different promotions that you can run if you go with the KDP Select option, which I would recommend, especially if you are a new author. So you can run a Kindle countdown deal, which lowers the rate of your book for a specified period of time and then increases it to the rate that you specify when you say it should. So for example, you can tell Amazon to price your book at 99 cents for 5 days and then increase the rate back to whatever the regular price is. Or you can tell Amazon to price the book at 99 cents for 1 day, then raise it to $1.99 for 1 day, and finally to $2.99 for a third day before raising the rate to a regular price of $4.99, right? And for instance. And what's cool about this is there will be an actual countdown timer on your book page showing that the price will increase in so much time to help increase the urgency and encourage people to buy now. So that's why you would want to maybe go with their countdown deal as opposed to just going in yourself and manually changing the price every day, okay? Because then it won't show that little countdown timer. You can also run a free promotion, which is what we'll focus on for the purpose of this 3-step plan. So basically with this, it's just how it sounds, okay? You offer the book for free for a few days with the idea that you'll get a bunch of new eyes on your book, okay? And you can also get more reviews this way because people feel somewhat obligated to return the favor. If they get a really good book for free, they're kind of like, well, gosh, I feel like I want to give this person something in return, so I'm going to give them a review. So it's kind of cool the way that works. So here's what you want to do for that. So the first step is to choose a 5-day launch period, ideally a few weeks out, so you can kind of do the prep work before the launch. You know, you want to get your reviews, write any promotional copy, that sort of thing. Then you go into your Amazon account and tell them when you want to do the launch ahead of time and say, okay, I want to run the launch during this time period. And then when the launch comes, you tell everyone you can about your book. You shout it from the rooftops, you spread it across the internet, you do whatever you can to get people interested enough to buy your book. Short of bribing them, of course, because like I said earlier, Amazon kind of frowns on that a little bit. So now obviously there is some strategy behind the launch, and there are ways to talk about your book to help make it more compelling. And we'll kind of talk in a few minutes about how you can learn more about those strategies. Okay, so when your launch period is over, you move on to step 3, which is the post-launch phase. So if you're running a free promotion, what you want to do now is manually change the price of your book to, let's say, 99 cents for a set period of time, maybe another 3 to 5 days after your free launch. And then you go out there and you tell everyone you can that, you know, okay, so even if you missed out on the free launch, you could still get the book for nearly free for the next few days before it goes back up to the normal price. You know, you can go through the same channels as the free launch if you want, and maybe add a few more channels, maybe even add in some Facebook or Amazon ads if you have the budget for it, to really gain a spike of readers. Okay, so now I promised earlier to share with you how you can get even more information if you're ready to truly dive in and get your book written using a fill in the blanks template and a proven plan to get it done in 30 days. But first, I just want to say that you're obviously serious about getting your book done, and I want to take a moment to acknowledge you for that. Most people never take the time to educate themselves in the way that you have. You've set the time aside, you've showed up for this training, and you've made the commitment to listen to this webinar all the way through, which proves that you have the commitment to do this now. And I can almost feel your excitement, and rightly so, because becoming a published author, and especially a best-selling author, is a fantastic accomplishment. And this dedication is also why you're perfect for the Write Your Best-Selling Book in 30 Days challenge. It's especially for people like you who want to write your book fast, whether that's to fill a lifelong dream or to greatly expand your reach so you can touch more lives around the world. Excuse me, so you can make an even greater difference, or to earn passive income, or to attract clients for your other products, services, and programs, or all of the above. Writing a book has so many great benefits, and anybody can do it. I'm serious. If you have a message to share, and I believe each and every one of us that are working to build a business does, you can write a book. It just takes the right tools, resources, and support. Which brings us back to the Write Your Book in 30 Days workshop. Over the course of 4 in-depth training modules, you'll have everything you need to make this the year, or next year, the year that you write your book that touches dozens, hundreds, thousands more lives and greatly expands your reach, not to mention your income too. Okay, so we're going to walk through what's included in this workshop, and if you want, let's just kind of walk through it here together. So here's what you'll get as part of this workshop. You'll get a fill in the blanks template that's pre-formatted to take all the guesswork out of what elements to put where, including headings, subheadings, pictures, content, all of that kind of stuff, and really makes writing your book a breeze. So you just kind of plug your information into the provided blanks and you're good to go. You get 4 in-depth training webinars walking you step-by-step through the process of writing, publishing, and promoting your book, delivered in bite-sized pieces for each day of your 30-day challenge. So you know exactly what to do every single day to customize your template and make your book unique to your business and even more irresistible to your ideal clients. Okay? You'll get an action plan and get it done guide for each module that walks you step-by-step through that process of releasing your book into the world, with plenty of examples and samples to help you get the wheel spinning. You'll get those 11 fill-in-the-blanks title formulas that I mentioned earlier to help your book stand out from the crowd and get folks excited about your solution. You'll get a swipe file of 35 irresistible title samples for 23 different niche markets, including everything from health and wellness to business to parenting and relationships and pretty much everything in between that you can use as is or customize to meet your unique needs. You'll also get unlimited email support from me. So you'll get my private email address to use for up to 60 days from your time of purchase. So you can fire off any questions that come up and threaten to stop you in your tracks. So you can get customized answers, typically within 24 to 48 hours, so that you can keep moving forward fast. And last but not least, you will have access to a private networking forum to get feedback, accountability, and support from your peers as you write your book. And here's kind of a taste of what we'll cover in the training modules. The first module is laying the foundation for a successful book. So before you write a word, there are several steps you must take to ensure the success of your book. And sadly, many authors skip these steps and end up with books that don't get noticed or purchased, unfortunately. So in that first week, you're going to discover how to pave the road to riches by setting goals that are achievable, but still make you all like super excited and send thrills down your spine. Uncover a hot topic. So we're going to talk about the 3 things you should combine to find a topic that is not only fascinating for you to write, but is wildly in demand with paying customers. And this includes 9 read their minds questions that will help you uncover the hot topics that your customers are dying to learn. Next, you're going to find out how to become an instant expert. So you'll learn the simple act of writing a working title. And yes, we'll talk about what that means and how that can skyrocket your expertise. And then we'll talk about ways you can earn money from your book before you write a single word. And plus discover how to use your book to not only generate immediate income, but also naturally transition readers into your high-end products, programs, and services. Okay, and then we're going to move on to KISS. Keep it simple, sweetheart. And here you'll find out how to slash your writing time while writing books that readers love to read. Let it flow is the next step, and that's AKA your book writing itself. So I'll share with you the simple technique that most authors disastrously skip, but which can seriously pave the road to a book that not only flows in the eye of the reader, but which practically writes itself. I'm not even kidding there. It's a really cool thing that I'll show you how to do. And then last but not least for this one, we'll remove progress killing roadblocks, excuse me. And we'll talk about how to ensure that, yes, you will get your book done in 30 days or less, even if it feels like your plate is already overflowing. Trust me, I get that. I've been there, but you can do it. And I'll share tips that help me write my book in 30 days while running my business, caring for a young daughter, and still working less than 20 hours per week, okay? So I will show you how to get it done also. So week 2 is how to write your irresistible book fast. Here's where we'll get down to the nitty-gritty, writing the actual content of your book, okay? So we'll talk about everything you need to know when writing the chapters of your book. So you'll find out tried and true tricks to help you speed through the writing process, how to write 10 chapters in just 10 days, secrets of writing a first chapter that pulls readers in and gets them hooked, which is the first step in keeping them reading, how to conquer overwhelm that threatens to stop your book dead in its tracks and also keeps you from delivering the transformation you long to bring to the world, the exact number of chapters you should include in your book. If you get that wrong, you could overwhelm your readers and kiss any chance of moving them into your other products and services goodbye. How to name each chapter in a way that gets readers reaching for their wallet because they get that this is the information that they've been searching for. So we'll dive even deeper into naming chapters and subheadings and all of that kind of thing. 2 not so sneaky shortcuts to get your book written without writing a single word. Simple yet powerful techniques to keep readers engaged with your book so they not only read all the way through to your higher ticket solutions at the end, but leave glowing reviews that help spread the word of your book like wildfire. How to convert readers of your Amazon or Kindle book into newsletter subscribers and blog readers, AKA turning them into your customers, not just Amazon's. This step is huge, and I will show you how to do that. Okay, so week 3 is all about making your writing shine. So in week 2, we talked about top tricks for writing awesome chapters. And while you continue writing your book in week 3, I'll keep sending tidbits of information to help you hone your writing skills so your words captivate your readers rather than distracting them with embarrassing, credibility-killing typos. You'll also get the motivation and support that you need to keep on keeping on. So you'll get daily little tidbits here with such nuggets of goodness, like motivating thoughts to lighten the mood and keep you moving forward. But sometimes you might want to pull your hair out if you have to write another word. I've been there too. Grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Mistakes to avoid, those blush-worthy bloopers that can cast doubt in the minds of your readers. Common grammar and punctuation mistakes to avoid. And some of my favorite writing rules to help you mesmerize your readers with your amazing writing skills. Okay. And then we'll move on to week 4, which is polish, publish, and promote. So now your book should be written, and hopefully you feel amazing because you've achieved a goal that many have, but very few reach. So There are a couple final touches that we still need to do. Like you better check yourself before you wreck yourself, as in do a quick self-edit to catch any glaring typos or omissions that will make you and your readers cringe. So I'll give you top tips for checking your own work. And then we'll talk about when and why to consider hiring a professional editor or proofreader for a second set of eyes, and how to find someone you can trust to help you present the most polished professional book possible. We'll talk about wrapping up your book with a conclusion that naturally leads readers to the next step in working with you. Writing a publish-ready title that will knock readers' socks off, or at least definitely grab their attention. We'll talk about compiling your back of book content to seriously boost sales. The back of book content is also your synopsis or your book description. Okay. We'll talk about considering your publishing options and choosing what's best for you. If you want to do, hard copy or digital or both, we'll kind of talk about what you want to do. And tips for promoting the heck out of your book to maximize sales and exposure for your biz. There's also going to be a bonus module called Steady Sales Launch Secrets. Okay, so we'll gather one final time to discuss exactly how to launch your book so that Amazon will get to work promoting your book for you. So we'll cover the best days of the week to start and end your launch for maximum sales, and also which low-selling days that you want to avoid. What type of book launch to run, either free or paid, based on your unique business and its needs. We'll cover your 5-day launch plan, including exactly what to do each day to sell the most books. There is a strategy there, and I'll share with you what that is. How to create a launch calendar with pre-launch, launch, and post-launch activities outlined in detail for you. How you can convince industry influencers to promote your book, and thank you for the opportunity. We'll kind of talk about that. The top Facebook Facebook book promotion sites. Geez, that's a little bit of a tongue twister. For both free and paid launches, because they're a little bit different. But there's sites out there to help you drive sales where you can promote your book, and so we'll cover all of those. And last but not least, your step-by-step guide to creating a reviews team, including how to get them excited to leave you glowing reviews without violating Amazon's terms, and tricks to maximize the chances that they're not going to space out on leaving a review. Okay. Plus, you're going to get 3 bonus goodies worth $347. On top of your training, when you order now, you will get instant access to these 3 bonus goodies. The first one is a 4-video training series called How to Quickly Create a Passive Income Product that delivers a steady stream of paying clients. So this is a video series revealing the quickest way to create a passive income product, just hours away from your first passive income product if you use this simple technique. The secret to getting paid upfront to create your passive income product, so you can actually start collecting before you write a single word. How you can use your new passive income product to catapult yourself to expert status and quickly generate interest in your higher level programs and services. Excuse me. And the best way to market your passive income product, and the best part is that it's completely free. Okay, so this part is really important, because if you don't yet have a higher ticket product that people can buy, this will help you create one that you can promote in your book to start bringing in some more revenues. The second bonus is called, excuse me, 60 Minutes to Cha-ching, your step-by-step guide to getting your book ready to sell in 60 minutes or less. Okay. So it's another video training series, and it's going to share everything you need to know to sell your book online. And that includes how to launch a simple, how to launch, excuse me for just a moment. Oh, I apologize for that. I'm getting a little coughing fit here. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to launch a simple yet effective one-page WordPress website. Even if you have I am so sorry. My voice seems to be giving out on me. How to launch your simple WordPress website, how to deliver the product to customers automatically, and how to set up a shopping cart to collect moolah. And I'll also share my recommended resource that works awesome and is available for one low upfront investment, not the costly monthly fees that so many charge. And the third bonus goodie is my Power Resource Guide that has resources to help you market your business online. Okay, so now I know you're probably wondering, what's my investment? Now, for the next few days, you can take $200 off of the regular registration rate. So you can get in and get everything you need to write a best-selling, money-making, client-attracting book for just $99. And I almost forgot about the extra bonus goodie. If you register within 48 hours, you can actually get a free critique of your topic and working title. So you can use what you learned today. You can create a rough sketch of those components over the next few weeks and get custom feedback. So you can jump right into writing your book with the confidence of knowing you're on the right path. And after you register, you'll get access to an online form with detailed instructions that you simply fill in and click submit to send your information to me. And I will return my feedback within 1 week. So it's super simple, super easy. But again, this bonus is only available for those who register within 48 hours of this webinar. So if you really feel like this is the right fit for you, then I encourage you to act fast and get in on this extra hands-on support. And also, I wanted to let you know, too, that this entire program, minus the bonus module, because that we're still finalizing for you, but the rest of the program, the first 4 modules, all the action guides, all the bonus goodies are available for instant access. So you can get in on that. You can start working through them immediately, right away. Okay, so if you are ready to join us, just click the button below to register now and get instant access to everything you need to start writing your best-selling book. And if you don't see the button, just go to tinyurl.com/writemybestseller to register now. Okay, thank you so much for being here and for bearing with me as my voice tries to go out, and I apologize again for that. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me at support@writeassociate.com. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in the program. But even if I don't, I hope that you write your best-selling book, and I wish you all of the success in the world. So thank you so much, and I hope to talk to you soon.